Alright, we're good. Alright, so welcome to my first Let's Play. Decided to do Dark Cloud because it's one of my favorite games from the PlayStation 2. I think it came out in 2001, and is pretty much like a large comparison to The Legend of Zelda when it came out. Because it's kind of the same, almost the same character, really. I mean, as you can see in the opening here, he's carrying a sword, he's got the, kind of equipment that Link kind of had. There's the hammer space pockets where everything fits into this small little pouch that you have, even though the objects you pick up are huge, which doesn't make any sense. But overall, the game is pretty awesome. I'd say it's one of the best RPGs for the PlayStation 2, let alone any other system. It also incorporates this almost sim-ish village building aspect to the game, where you have to rebuild your hometown and other cities you come across later in the game. So, oh god, he's screaming. So as you can see in the opening here, it's just kind of showing off the game and some of the different characters you come across. First thing that comes across in this game that you're gonna realize that's very annoying is he sounds exactly like Link when he like screams and he attacks, and he doesn't say anything other than ha and A over and over again. So that gets kind of annoying. And the fact that you have to repair your weapons is a big part of this game. Like, they're not just permanent. So hopefully I don't break any of my very good weapons eventually, because like I've done that in the past where you get so far in the game and it starts out all well, but then all of a sudden you're just, attacking something and your weapon breaks out of nowhere and you can't get it back. So the game starts out with an old story, just kind of talking about what happened before your character's kind of arrival to the game, I guess you could say. There's an old book, there's the story of two moons illuminating the sky, which is almost a reference in the second game that's brought up a few times. This is Dark Cloud 1, obviously. But Dark Cloud 2 came after it. I think it was maybe a year after it, and I'd say Dark Cloud 2 did it a lot better, especially for a sequel. Like most sequels of games, they either do well or kind of break the I don't even know what to call it. Kind of break the game almost. Like they just suck so bad that you can't really relate it to the first one, or the first one's way better and you never want to play the second one. But yeah, I'd say they did a pretty good job replacing everything that was wrong in the first game in the second game, and making it better. In the second one, your weapons don't break as easily, and when they get to broken status, they just kind of sit there. They can't do anything, but you still have the weapon. I was gonna go with a different name other than the main character, but for a Let's Play, I might as well just keep it the same. So I always pronounce it as Toan. Just T-O-A-N. Makes sense to me. So yeah, let's just start it up. So here we have pretty much the main character, or the main bad guy I should say. He's the villain of the game. I think his name is Colonel Flag, and I can't remember the name of the guy that's beside him, but he's not really needed. He's like his loyal henchman, I guess you could say. Right now in the story, I think it was 1,000 years ago or something like that, there's a dark genie that kind of destroyed the entire world, and villains being villains, he's trying to bring him back so he can control everything. And yeah, so he's got like some ceremonial dancers doing like a ritual type of thing. For PS2, this doesn't look that bad. It kind of holds up. Obviously you can see all the, triangles that they're using for the different characters, and they're kind of blocked off, but still looks pretty good. Kind of looks like they're doing Gangnam Style. Just the entire time. It's a pretty cool ceremony though. And the music really fits it. Yeah, so I'm doing live commentating while I'm doing the Let's Play, like any other Let's Play, rather than recording it afterwards, because I figured if I'm recording it afterwards and I say something that, like, if I'm late on talking about something or I miss something, then it's kind of useless. So it's probably better if I just talk as I'm doing the action. So, oh yeah, so the henchman's about to tell the story about the Dark Genie. And apparently the urn cost a lot. So yeah, it's a big legendary genie. Almost looks like Majin Buu in a way, from Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, pretty much Dark Genie, you know. No, it was 400 years ago, not 100 years ago. And in this game, the lands are split between the East and the West, and the East is more of a kind of tribal or like a forest, almost, type of group. Like there's the forest, and then there's the desert, and they're all like they're old and kind of traditional ways of living, rather than the West, which is more somewhat going towards more technology and kind of advancing in their age. But they still do the traditional things. But you'll see that later in the game when we get to the different parts of the world. I think the world's called Terra, which is just Earth translation. So. Oh, here we go. So this is the first time we're going to see the Dark Genie. So, a lot of cinematics in this game for the first little bit. There's not a whole lot of gameplay, so I guess this would just be an intro to the game. But yeah, you can see he kind of looks like Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, excuse me. It's almost like Majin Buu and Mr. Popo if they mixed. And there's another character we'll meet later on. And Flag kind of takes him as the master, even though the genie doesn't really care who he's. I mean, he's much larger than the Colonel, so I don't know why he doesn't just kill him. He hasn't eaten anything in 400 years. So he's just gonna eat the henchman. Seems a little cruel, but if you haven't eaten in 400 years, I guess a person will do. Now, for those of people that haven't played Dark Cloud, it's pretty easy to find if you ever want to play the series again, or if you have it and you're watching this and thinking maybe you should get back to it. It's definitely a game that you should play, because for the RPG kind of aspect of it, it's really good. Even though sometimes, like, it's a dungeon kind of, like, you go into dungeons each level, so it kind of gets repetitive, but at the same time, you still want to keep playing and, you know, unlock everything, build the town up. You having fun over there, sir? Yeah, so there's the 2 moons that they were talking about before. And now we're back with Toan. It is not cold in here. Yeah, you're freezing. So yeah, now we get some gameplay as Toan for a bit. And I think it's the night of the festival in the town, so they're kind of hurrying up to go party, I guess you could say. And that's Toan's mom, obviously. I don't know what was in that bowl, but it looked disgusting. It's like this yellowish brown liquid. I don't know. But like, as of other games, your character never switches clothing, so he's always wearing the same thing, even though you go on an adventure what seems like a year. It's like, nope, not gonna do any laundry. Oh, it's the festival song. I really like the festival song. It's really upbeat. It's cool. And there you have some people of the town, even though they're just 2 sprites, or not 2 sprites, but 2 meshes of people, It's just the same people over and over again. There's some new people who you'll meet later in the game. And that guy cannot dance to save his life. There's the old gaffer playing the banjo or something like that. I don't know. Looks like a banjo. Uh-oh, there's the Dark Genie hovering over the moon. Yeah, it gets pretty hectic, but... Oh yeah, I know. I hate it when the Dark Genie hovers over my town too and blows it up. And now he's attacking the city. Or town, I should say. Not really sure why he attacks the town. Just kind of testing out the genie's power. Might have said something in the dialogue there, but I wasn't reading it. So yeah, he pretty much just shoots everything. And everybody's, you know, going crazy because the town's being destroyed. I would probably try to run too, but here you can see where the village building aspect comes back. Oh no, Tolan's girlfriend is underneath the windmill? Is that a windmill? Looks like a windmill. But he is not nearly running fast enough to save her at all. Pretty much. Like, he's jogging in a way, it's just like, yeah, I'll get there eventually. Nothing's gonna happen. And then he gets stomped on by the genie. Like, he's gotta be dead. Then he kind of gives you that, like, what's up look, because I just stomped on your main character. It is the shortest game ever, your character's already dead. Oh, now we're talking to some, you know, phantom voice that's telling us to wake up. Remind you of anything? Navi. Listen. And then there's this creepy ass guy whose eyes never close. Just always staring at you. So yeah, he tells you about the Dark Genie for the first time, like your character. But as we know, we already know that he came back. And he's kind of trying to take out the entire world. So you have some flashbacks about the whole disaster, and you're like, oh, everybody's dead, you know. Apparently the men from the east resurrected him. So apparently a long time ago he almost destroyed the world, but there's a great spirit that defeated him. You know, kind of cheesy story, but all in all, still a great game. Well, we'll see when the gameplay gets there. That is your Atlamilia, which is pretty much your village creator tool. And use it to place down buildings, and when you go through the dungeon you suck in the building parts, or the people, or whatever you want to call them, just like the orbs of the village. And as you go through the game you collect more and more, and then when you have them all you can rebuild the city. Or you can do it as you pick them up, so you can leave the dungeon, build, come back, you know, just keep going back and forth between the dungeon and village, and that's pretty much the main mechanic of the game, is going back and forth between the dungeon and the towns to build the city. I don't know why you're so confused. He just explained the entire thing and he's still looking at his hand like, holy shit, I can control towns? No way. And then he just disappears. At least he doesn't follow you like Navi until, you know, listen every 5 seconds. But that is Dark Cloud for the most part. So that was our intro, and we'll be back with the next episode, and we'll be starting off our adventure.